The inputs required for manufacturing and service businesses differ significantly, largely due to the nature of the outputs they produce. Manufacturing businesses focus on producing tangible goods, while service businesses provide intangible experiences or outcomes. These fundamental differences shape the types and nature of inputs that each sector requires, from physical materials and machinery in manufacturing to labor expertise and technology in services. Understanding these distinctions is key to optimizing operations, ensuring efficiency, and meeting business objectives in both sectors. Let's look at the key differences between the inputs of manufacturing and service businesses with real-world examples. Key difference 1. Nature of inputs. In manufacturing business, inputs are typically physical materials, machinery, and labor needed to produce tangible goods. Whereas in service business, inputs are usually intangible resources like labor, skills, knowledge, and technology, with fewer physical materials involved. For example, Ford's manufacturing inputs include steel, rubber, plastics, and machinery to produce cars. It also requires assembly line workers and engineers. Whereas Google's service inputs are primarily skilled labor, software engineers, data scientists, digital infrastructure, servers, data centers, and proprietary algorithms. Key difference 2. Level of material input. In manufacturing business, there is a high material input is required. Raw materials, components, and machinery dominate the input list, whereas service business has lower material input. The focus is more on human expertise, technology, and service facilities. For example, Nike manufacturing inputs include fabrics, leather, rubber, and machines to manufacture sports shoes and apparel. Whereas Netflix service inputs are digital infrastructure, servers, internet bandwidth, and creative content, movies, series, along with skilled staff, IT professionals, content creators. Key difference 3. Degree of labor specialization in manufacturing business. Labor is often specialized around machinery operation, assembly lines, and specific production tasks. Whereas service business labor is highly specialized in customer interaction, knowledge, and technical expertise, with more direct human-to-customer interaction. For example, Toyota manufacturing inputs include specialized labor such as engineers, machinists, and factory workers who handle automotive parts and assembly processes. Whereas Starbucks service inputs involve baristas, customer service personnel, and store managers who provide the service of making coffee and enhancing the customer experience. Key difference 4. Dependence on technology. In manufacturing business, there is a heavy reliance on machinery, automation, and industrial technology to enhance efficiency and produce high volumes of goods. Whereas in service business, technology is often used to enhance customer experiences, for example, software, digital tools, rather than for physical production. For example, Samsung manufacturing inputs include advanced production lines, robotics, and automated systems to manufacture electronic devices like smartphones and televisions. Whereas Uber service inputs involve mobile app technology, GPS systems, and customer service infrastructure to facilitate ride sharing. Key difference 5. Time sensitivity. In manufacturing business, production is often less time-sensitive once materials are in place. Goods can be produced and stored for later use. Whereas in service business, services are usually time-sensitive, with immediate or real-time delivery required. For example, transportation, health services. For example, Boeing manufacturing. Inputs include aerospace components, which are manufactured over long periods with less immediate time pressure. Whereas AWS, service. Inputs are cloud infrastructure and computing power, which must be available instantly to meet real-time customer needs. Key difference 6. Customization of inputs. In manufacturing business, inputs are typically standardized for mass production, though some companies may offer customization at a later stage. Whereas in service business, inputs are more flexible and often customized to meet individual customer needs, for example, consultancy healthcare. For example, Coca-Cola, manufacturing. Inputs include sugar, water, and packaging are standardized for mass production of beverages. Whereas Deloitte, service. Inputs involve customized consulting services, where experts tailor financial or management advice based on individual client needs. Key difference 7. Intangible versus. Tangible resources in manufacturing business have tangible raw materials, and physical resources dominate the input mix. Whereas service business have intangible inputs like knowledge, expertise, and digital resources are key. For example, Intel, manufacturing, inputs include silicon, specialized machinery, and facilities to manufacture computer processors. Whereas Spotify, service inputs include music licensing, intellectual property, software developers, and customer data analytics to run a music streaming platform. Key difference 8. Capacity to store inputs in manufacturing business. Inputs like raw materials and components can be stored for future production. Whereas in service business, many inputs, especially labor and customer interactions, cannot be stored and are consumed as the service is delivered. For example, PepsiCo, manufacturing, have inputs such as sugar, packaging, and machinery can be stored until needed for production. Whereas Hilton hotels, service, have inputs such as room cleaning services, customer check-ins, and hospitality staff must be ready to serve guests in real time, with no capacity for storage. Key difference 9. Physical versus. Human-centric inputs. Manufacturing business are heavily dependent on physical inputs such as raw materials, machines, and assembly lines. Whereas service business are more focused on human-centric inputs like communication, expertise, and customer interaction. For example, Boeing, manufacturing, inputs include aircraft components, heavy machinery, and engineering expertise for large-scale production. Whereas Mayo Clinic, service inputs include highly skilled medical professionals, diagnostic equipment, and patient care systems, focusing on human interaction and expertise. In conclusion, the differences between the inputs of manufacturing and service businesses highlight the distinct operational needs of each sector. While manufacturing relies heavily on physical materials, machinery, and standardized processes, service businesses prioritize human expertise, technology, and customer interaction. Recognizing these key differences allows companies to align their resources more effectively with their business models, ensuring smooth operations and better meeting the needs of their customers.